thing where you bury a statue of Saint Joseph in your yard and he will help you sell your house. And I'm not a practicing Catholic, but I was confirmed. So I'm like, hopefully God will just be like, I remember you. Okay, we could sell your house. Yeah. Hi, Apollo. My God. As you can tell, my voice is not totally normal either, but I'm almost better. Yeah, sorry about the no reminder. I'm really bad at that. I'm gonna fix that not
Hey, I'm on
tomorrow.
a couple of Discord servers that have like a panel for like, self-promotion or promote your stuff or whatever. I know this isn't my thing, but do y'all care if I post a link and be like, hey, y'all should watch this show on Twitch?
Yeah, go ahead. Put this up at a better angle. There we go. Also on Sunday, me and Apollo's girlfriend are gonna go ghost hunting in the downtown area here.
Yep.
Like legitimately?
Like, yeah, it's like a tour with like people who legit have ghost hunting equipment, apparently.
Yeah. And dinner.
Yeah, and dinner.
Apparently.
It's like a ghost hunt dinner event through the historic section. Wow, I'm gonna sound like crap, okay? I need to cough. I don't have COVID. I don't know what this is, but I mean, unless COVID now can't be like new strains can't be detected on the home tests, but I don't know. I took a test. I forbid her from not making it tonight. I distinctly remember saying that on Patreon.
Yeah, was she one of the ones who voted for this topic? She
I
needs to
think
be here.
so. Yeah.
Hey, this isn't one
topic's
we've
kinda
actually
hard.
done before, is it?
What?
This isn't one we've actually done before, is it?
No.
Because I feel like I was just talking to my wife. I was like, I don't think this is one they've actually done before, but I know it's one that's come up as one that I voted for simply because I had my answer chambered in the event that we did get to do that. Because I was like, I know what I was going to say then. I feel like I already had this conversation, but maybe I didn't actually do it. It was just one I had in my head. I don't know.
Me and Apollo have been messaging about this, and both of us are like, I don't.
I told her, I literally looked at my entire gaming history since I created my PlayStation account, which was in like 2012. It's not one game have romance that I think good. Like I think for tonight, other than commenting, I got nothing.
Well, mine is a technicality because there is technically romance, but I don't get to partake in it.
I know that Jen said last week, was it? Feels like forever ago. That you already had an answer. I guess we could start. Oh, while you're eating, so we can bullshit some more. I'll let you finish your yogurt. Is that yogurt? Oh, that is not at all yogurt. Okay, I was about to say that's like a hefty serving of yogurt, but I wasn't gonna like. Yeah. Hashtag not sponsored. No, I just was like, where do you get such a serving size? Like, I've never seen a cup of yogurt like that size before. Oh no.
I will suppress the bad joke.
Good. I'm just kidding. No, Win, I'm so sorry you're not here also. And I'm sorry also patrons, just FYI that I failed you all and didn't post the reminder earlier than 10 minutes before because I forgot. I could have done it earlier.
Did you post a reminder? I just went to where a message.
Literally like at 9:20 I posted it. I was watching
the stream should be able to hear me now
with my kid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be scheduling those posts from here on out, so I will not be able to forget because the system will do it for me Technology. I'll use it to my
Yay.
advantage. Yes, everyone can be heard now. Okay. It might just be the four of us because I have failed. I'm a failure.
Well, no Winifred, no Toasty.
I don't even remember what Toasty looked like at this
Qualifies.
point. I haven't seen him in so long.
My Silver Witcher.
Yeah. Is
Oh,
he
that's
still
right,
got
because
silver hair?
mhm.
Nice.
That's right, because the one night he was on is because you weren't here.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, my sister could technically join us. Why don't you join us? That'd be fun. Go get your mic. Go get your laptop.
Does she have an
I don't
opinion?
think she's at the right level.
Oh, is she not at the right level? Never mind. You're not allowed. No nepotism and two girls, one ship.
No, but they are fond of letting people grandpa in. Just saying,
You
which I'm
have
appreciative
Yeah.
of, by the way.
you can use AirPods, muffiny cake. She's like, oh, I always have an opinion. Me too, me too. Hi, Yuri Cat.
Did you come up with? Do you have an answer yet, V, or not?
I
Because I got
have
nothing.
I have one that I think counts. I told my husband and he was like, no, that game would be ruined if there was romance. It's perfect as it is. So
Well, I
he
could
loves
pick a game that
game,
doesn't
but
have romance, but I don't want the games that don't have romance to have romance. Like I can't pick one that I actually want to have romance.
mm,
All right, let's get into it. And I will
same.
continue to eat while other people are talking. Mainly because I only have this room for about 55 more minutes. So let's get into it.
We're on a schedule today, which is good because I need to take NyQuil and pass out. Like
And I'm not at home, so that's good for me too.
I was about to say, I don't see any posters. This doesn't look like your normal room. You have plants in there, which look like they're not cat friendly.
Oh, they have cats here, but
Oh, really?
they don't come in this room.
Oh,
We
okay.
convinced our friends to have a game room as well, so I'm in the game room.
Nice. My cat would destroy all those plants. That's why I figured there was no cats there.
Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review the. Wow. I can't believe that I messed up my own words. Okay. The podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Jennasis, the girl who likes good soup. Good soup.
Oh. And I'm Virvada, the girl who understands the reference to a point, but does not actually know where that reference came from. I know it's Adam Driver saying good soup somewhere, but where did he say that? I don't know. Does someone know?
Oh, it's that movie where gets a divorce. He's just sitting
Oh, it's
alone
A
in a
Marriage
diner.
Story.
Yeah, he's
I've
just
seen
sitting
that movie.
alone.
Wow. And he just like mutters good soup to himself.
Mhm.
God, no wonder it became a meme. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. uh, so here we are again at the end of the month, and we are here with our patrons. It is so amazing to have you guys back again. And so we have Bat Knight and Apollo with us here, and we are going to talk a very interesting topic, a very controversial topic, apparently, that what video game doesn't have romance, but should? And since it's just the four of us tonight, I feel like we can get a whole bunch of different angles of this. Like what there's a game where the romance isn't yours and you really wish that you were the romance option. Or a game that just straight up doesn't have any romantic aspect to it, but you feel like it really could have a better relationship building to it. And, we can branch out and do a whole bunch of different types of topics and conversations tonight. Well, anybody have one right off the bat that they're like, this game needs it?
Right off the bat, you say?
Good one.
Sorry. No, this is actually a topic that has been brought up in the vote before, so I actually had an answer chambered. This was I came up with the idea back when I was playing Midnight Suns, because the game is you play your custom character, the hunter, and you get to build friendships with all these established Marvel characters while you're, hunting monsters and all this stuff. And it bothered me that you don't really get to do you don't get to do any kind of like real romance. Now, the developer said they did that on purpose. They tried to keep it ambiguous. So, headcanon, you can say like so-and-so is your girlfriend or boyfriend, however you want. And some of the characters will like playfully flirt back and forth, but there's nothing to establish real romantic intention, at least not for your character. There is in the game, there is two characters that are completely freaking random, and they end up all coupley and everything, to the point of where there's a cut scene where you stumble upon them like having a midnight picnic or something, and one of them says to you, it's like, Hunter, with all due respect, go away. And the characters in question, and those two characters are Blade and Captain Marvel.
I remember you talking about them in a previous chat we've had. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the closest thing to romance that's in this game. Your character, the hunter, doesn't get to have any romance, which was just aggravating to me because one of my longtime Marvel crushes was in the game, and yet ironically enough, not the one that I ended up, feeling feelings for by the time the game was over. I went into the game expecting that I was going to, crush on Scarlet Witch because that's my MCU crush. But by the time the end of the game was over, I actually found myself more drawn toward Ilyana Rasputin, aka Magic. And so yeah, it would have been fun for me personally, and I'm not alone. I know there's a whole subset of fans of the game that were like, how come you could only build up to such a point and then it just stopped? And so, of course, a more recent version is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. That one's more, you get two kiss scenes, but the romance is more alluded to rather than it being a straight up part of the game. And I guess I'm, channeling V here. I wanted to see more, quit alluding to stuff. Let us see it. The dreaded fade to black, right when things get interesting.
I'm
We are
okay.
staunchly anti-fade to black. Staunchly anti-fade to black.
Yes.
Unless it's like, I don't need it to be like an explicit sex scene, but I would like to see the kiss. Unless I remember one time you brought up a really good point where like some people may not want to watch that, and then you can have an option to skip it, and then you can have a fade to black if you've chosen to skip it. But otherwise, show me what's happening.
Very much agreed. That's why I really love the way Andromeda does their romances, but we will get to that game eventually. I agree with you that a game that shows that other people are connecting, are hooking up, and you're like, but I want to be a part of that too. I think that the game should have given you the option, and instead of like saying like, oh, we left it open and ambiguous, you can headcanon yourself with anybody. Well, you know what? Why not make it actual canon that any of these people I wanted to get with, I could. And you just give me 1 or 2 lines of dialogue that says, hey, I think you're cool, and I'm going to take you out for dinner on Friday night. I don't know.
You do get to do dates, but it's genuine. It's specifically listed as friend or friendship dates or something like that. You get to sit around and watch movies, or work out, or take a walk around the grounds, or pick flowers. They all kinds of different things. But it's all about building friendships, and that's as close as you get.
I just heard you describe the Citadel DLC. That's
Well,
what I heard.
there is a reason, the game is often referred to as, half trading card based strategy game, half friendship dating simulator.
All right. V, Apollo, have you made up your minds about anything yet? They're both emphatically shaking their heads no.
My game was Horizon, but then in this last DLC they remedied that. So my one game that I've been wanting to talk about in this scenario took it away. They gave it to me. So
you could
I have
say that you wish that it started in Zero Dawn or Forbidden West.
I wish that I could romance anybody. I guess I would like it better if I could romance anybody, because I would have, now I can't remember everybody's name. What's
I just played them.
What's his
Which one?
name? The mustache guy. Yeah.
Oh
him.
yeah.
I would like to romance him because he feels like he's so into Aloy, and he's such a good guy. I would want to romance him.
I love him, but I would romance Katalo so fast. I love Katalo so much. Although I'm sad because he could only ever give me Christian side hugs. He's missing an arm. He could never really embrace me. But it's okay. Oh no, wait, he gets a robot arm.
I'd be okay with romancing the king and Aloy becoming a queen at the end of the game. What's his name?
I think. Is his name Avad?
I think so.
The Sun King. I know he basically is like, let me make you my queen. And you're like,
I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm down with this. But Aloy, she wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could say we wish we had romance options in that game versus just the romance that was given. Although I personally really like Seika. Although what was her name? The Karja Hawk Huntress lady.
I can't remember all the names.
Oh my gosh, she was like barely in Zero Dawn. She was only at the hunting lodge, and then she had like this whole side quest in Forbidden West, and she has like this bomb ass makeup, this gorgeous ponytail, and straight up is like the most powerful lesbian energy. And so many people ship her and Aloy, and I kind of agree. I can't remember her name though. My sister might know.
Although that's a game that I'm happy. Well, I say this, I am happy as it is. I want a romance for Aloy because I like Aloy so much. I want it for her, not necessarily for me. Like, if that makes sense. Oh,
her name's Talana. Thanks. Yeah, her confidence was 1,000,000% for sure. Yeah, I loved that. That wasn't my choice, but I agree with you. I mean, the DLC was super cute. I don't know if it's enough for us to talk about yet on the show, but we might because I love those games. I don't know. It was very short.
I mean, the quest itself with her is shorter than one episode. You could literally just play the DLC on the show. It's shorter than a show. It's kind of short.
Yeah. Not if you dick around like I did and fly on the water wing and just swim. Because like this introduces a mount where you can fly and dive in the water. It was so good. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a bad tangent.
Yeah, especially because you're talking about dicking around and up and down and getting wet in the water. My brain is spiraling right now.
I'm sorry. That's funny. I'm seeing in the comments a lot of people are suggesting Hogwarts Legacy as a game that did not have romance but should. And I agree to a point. I know a lot of people lust after Sebastian, but it's also kind of difficult, I think, because everyone in that game is 17 or younger, given that it's a school.
They're fifth years. How old are you as a fifth year?
Well, they're 15 usually, or 16 as a fifth year, because you start first year with 11-year-olds. So depends, I guess, when your birthday is. So, I mean, it's kind of like people's critique about there not being that much romance in Harry Potter, but it's like it's a bunch of kids. How much romance do you want? I want age appropriate stuff, which is maybe holding hands and smooching. So, like, I don't know. I mean, I get it. I like Sebastian too, but I personally did not feel like any kind of way about romance in that game because they're kids. My choice was the best choice that I had actually was Red Dead Redemption 2, because while there's like there is romance kind of not with your character that you're playing as Arthur Morgan. Although there's like talks about who you were with in the past, there's nothing in the present during the game. And the way that the game ends is so tragic that I feel like a romance would have made it even more sad. Like seeing how your lover went on without you, because spoiler alert, Arthur always dies in the end. Like it's beautiful. Although that's my husband like loves that game and he's like, no, don't mess with it. It's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. But I'm like, is it? There's so many great characters in that game that it would have been cool to have just like a little romance with one of them, like a choice. There's so many good ones.
My wife actually picked on me quite a bit about that game while I was playing through it because, as you mentioned, there's the girl that it alludes to that Arthur and her used to have a thing. They were going to run off together and everything, but then he couldn't leave the outlaw life and she couldn't handle that. So she comes into your life and there's a bunch of side quests. I mean, you know all this. So my wife just kept picking on me because I did that game the same way I do most of the games. What would I do in that situation? And there'd be the whole thing of, well, you don't really have to help me, but I'd appreciate it if you did, kind of thing. And my wife's sitting beside me. It's like, you're totally going to help her, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the games that you guys have just talked about. I haven't played Horizon yet. I didn't play Harry Potter, and I haven't played Red Dead. So I'm like, cool. There's 3 games that don't have romance that I probably won't play. Ha
Well,
ha ha.
I feel like, first of all, Apollo said in the comments that he hasn't been able to get into Red Dead 2, which is it just boggles my mind. I mean, personally, I've never finished it myself. I watched my husband play it. I played a lot of it, but I like just running around on a horse because, dear gods, the way that they have animated the horses in that game is so accurate and wonderful. Like, I grew up riding horses, both Western and English style. So I loved watching horses, how you could literally go from a walk to a trot to a canter to a gallop, and you could like catch wild horses and like name them, and they had different breeds of horse, and it was just a whole thing. So like that was me and my horse girl dreams, but I never actually finished it. I just watched my husband finish it. The story is really good though. Like if you don't get sidetracked with side quests like I tend to do and just play the main story, the side quests are really good too though. But anyway, it's beautiful. They did a good job. I actually like it better than the first one, which doesn't normally happen. I mean, the only other instance I can think of that happening is Last of Us. But yeah, I don't know.
And I have an unpopular with Red Dead 2. I don't like the guy's voice. Like, I don't like his voice at
That's
all.
fair.
I don't like it. Like, that's another thing that turned me off to it. I was like, I
From
don't want to
her.
keep listening to this.
God.
I think it's fair just because I grew up in like cowboy country, Los Angeles County, like the West. No, for real. We had a cowboy festival every year in my hometown. Like, I'm not lying. Jen's giving me like a for real girl look right now. And so like when I heard his voice for the first time, I was just like, that's a little stereotypical, but okay. And then all the guys on TikTok who imitate it all the time, that's insufferable too. But he's a great character. Plus, I had a cat named Arthur, so I'm like a little bit. I like him.
I've watched Sam play it, and it looks cool. It's pretty, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I think it's a
Maybe.
good game. I can just never
Random
get totally invested unless I can play as a woman because I like being a woman.
random tangent, but the online element, I have a buddy of mine who plays GTA Online almost religiously, and he keeps trying to just find stuff for him and I to play together. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really interested. And then when they did Red Dead Online, I was like, hey, I'll play that. You should get on that. He's like, dude, I'm not riding a horse. I'm like, it's the same game, just in the West. He's like, I don't want to ride a horse.
What did a horse do to him?
So I think I kind of
Uh,
cheat. I spoiled the game that I had brought just like a couple weeks ago. Uh, Zelda. Like it's an entire game franchise where the main player character gets to see a lot of good love, help connect people together. There are missions where it's like, will you please help me find my long lost lover? Or there's a guy on the other side of the pond, but I'm too shy to go talk to him. Will you bring him this flower? And Link has to run around holding the flower and bring it to the guy on the other side of the pond. So Link helps all these people find love, but never gets it for himself. Where's my romance in the Legend of Zelda series?
I have a question
Mhm.
because I've barely played Legend of Zelda. Why? I know everyone like ships Zelda and Link, but why? Is that irrational? Like, is Zelda completely out of his league or something? Or like, does Link and then there's young Link, and I don't fully understand how that happened.
Okay. Zelda is the princess. Link is her personal warrior, bodyguard, protector. And so they have built this really amazing partnership that way. And then a lot of people think, yes, they hook up while not game. Like the time in between, the downtime, or when they're out there traveling together. Um, but I don't even necessarily need it to be Zelda. I want anybody for Link. I understand that he takes his job very seriously of protecting Zelda and therefore protecting all of Hyrule. It just, there are so many other characters who have shown attraction to Link, and it's like, then why not? Why not? As for Young
Do
Link,
any
oh, Young Link is a part of a game where it's a back in time to fix the mistakes of the future. So that's, yeah.
Okay, thank you for that rundown. I've always wondered.
does
Apologies,
any
yes,
Nintendo game let you do relationships though, like Nintendo exclusives?
Super Mario.
Princess Peach made cake for Mario.
Hmm. That's at least an established relationship where they're like, you know, they do get together at the end. Um, I am not the biggest Nintendo stan, so I don't have a category in my brain for it that I could run through.
I remember from our panel that we did last year, I don't know if they still have a rule like this. They probably do, but for the longest time, Nintendo had a strict rule about like no nudity or anything like that. So no game of theirs would ever have like a Witcher style romance or anything like that. So, and plus, most of their games are marketed to kids. So I think they just don't normally do that.
But they definitely like I was looking for games to pick up on my Switch, and they now have some of the X-rated games on there. So, I mean, but they're not like Nintendo exclusive games. So maybe that's like where the line is drawn, but they definitely have X-rated in their catalog to buy through the Nintendo store.
I have another one that I just thought of when you said X-rated. um, because so we had romances in Fallout 4, but we didn't in Fallout 3 or New Vegas. And I distinctly remember this one guy in Fallout 3 who lived right outside of Rivet City, and he had a house full of women in like this scantily clad nightgown. I think they called it like the sexy nightgown or something in the game. So he literally just had like a harem.
Hmm.
So like some guy out there could have a harem, but I could not have a romance with my companions. It's stupid. Bethesda is routinely so shitty at romance, just putting that out there.
Yeah, I was like, of course I could say like, oh, I want romance in Elder Scrolls. Well, that you can get married and stuff like that, but it's like there's no
Yeah.
real romance to it. Like the closest
Even
romance is Serena, your
even
vampire
Fable.
companion.
2-parter, and all it is like, oh shit, we should stop having sex because we've had too many kids and STDs. Like, let's just stop. Yeah, I don't know. Also, my sister suggested Animal Crossing, which I agree. As a kid, I really wanted to romance somebody, but it's also like we can't because we're random ass humans with a bunch of animals. So that's like bestiality.
Yeah. And even if it was like a thing in the Animal Crossing world, what would that entail? Would they like move into your house with you? I mean,
Entail.
that would be cute. Ha.
I think y'all are getting called out in chat.
It's a
Oh,
fantasy. Says the
says
Turian
the
lover
Turian
by
lover.
my sister. She can't call me out.
No, but I can.
Yeah, that's true. Turians don't have fur. That's true.
We also
It's
have a pride flag for monster fuckers. Like,
yeah.
monster fuckers unite.
Does that include animals
Furries are
though?
You think there's an
monsters
actual
Okay.
too.
flag?
Yeah,
Yeah, there is.
it's really
It's
cute.
tentacles. I want one. I want one for my house. I want to scare people who come over. Be like, what
Okay,
is
sure.
she? What? My
I
sister.
think like
Bipedal talking animals aren't monsters. I guess they are. I did love Lobo. He was my favorite.
I like the little guy, Marshall. Him and his mismatched eye color and treat me bad attitude.
Dude, okay, but I do have a thing for that chameleon who you can sell bugs to, and he comes for the bug festival.
Oh, the little punk
The little,
rocker.
the little punk
Yeah.
chameleon. Oh, he's
Yep.
so cute.
Okay. All right. Before we go down an even weirder tangent about what Animal Crosser we would fuck, let's go into a mid break where we can thank the patrons. Listen to any sponsors because why in the hell are you sponsoring this? When we come back, I'm sure that we'll open up to something else weird. Like that mid break intro. What's going on?
Sponsored by 1-800-PET-ADS.
Words is hard.
Y'all, I need the Mass Effect Lorecast or us to switch dates because I don't think I can maintain this 2 shows a day thing. I think that's what it is. So I go from Mass Effect and then like a 10-minute break and then here.
Do you want to do second to last week of the month instead? Does that fix it? I don't know.
It would. Actually, yeah.
Fine with
All
me.
right, so that's a side topic that we can definitely chat about with the patrons, of which I will list off and thank right now because y'all are fucking amazing. Apollo and Toasty, Becky and Bat Knight, Cloudy and Winifred, Miss Theos McCups, Lizzie and Miss Muffiny Cake. All of you are amazing. I don't think we don't have any new patrons to read out, and I don't think that we have any new reviews this week. V's double checking my work. And while we do that, I'll give you guys a little bit of a personal update that I'll cut out from the actual show. Uh, Not my normal recording setup, not my normal mic. We are still up in the hospital, but it's for a really good thing right now. My little Rexifer is in physical rehab. Yes, I create a million nicknames for her too. Go figure. She, after the surgeries and the complications after that, and the year so far of being like at home, really working her program with in home therapy, she finally qualified. to get inpatient rehab. So that is where we are at right now. She's been here for a week, and it is so awesome how much has happened in just this 1 week. Like one of her own personal goals um, was to be able to fully reach her own face. And for us, it seems pretty easy, but to be able to lift your elbow up and out, and then your arm to be able to coordinate and touch your face, was actually really difficult. And she decided to eat Cheetos today, pulled it, reached into the bag, pulled it out, brought it to her face, and was able to chew on it. And that's like a whole big other thing, is the fact that my kid could fucking eat food, guys. We are eating food. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Just proud of her.
I know.
Also, Cheetos are really good motivation.
They are. Oh my gosh. So the cheesy poofs, we can only have puffy Cheetos right now. We can't have the hard crunchy ones. But yeah, anything that consistency. Um, or like the little ones, the stuff that you buy for the toddlers, the soft puffy ones. Yeah, she can have those too.
Dude, my kid's favorite are like the Gerber tomato puffs. I don't know why.
My
Those are her
God.
favorite ones. Maybe Lex would like those.
Yeah. No, she totally would.
Rex.
Uh,
But yeah, the cheesy ones, they have cheesy ones. They have a garden vegetable one. I know this because I have a kid who's of the age who eats those normally. And
yeah.
they got, I think they have one more kind.
They have a
Oh,
ton
they
of
have a
fruit
gross,
ones.
they have a gross fruit one that I just think the sweet ones are bleh. But maybe she'd like those ones. But every morning on a weekend, my kid will come to my bed, wake me up. She's like, "Mama, I want tomato puffs." Like, you can't just eat those for breakfast? Like, what? Yeah, that's amazing.
All right.
I hope,
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna say, I hope that continues because feeding yourself, I know from not being able to in the past, from surgery complications, that is the worst. So she's getting there.
Yeah. So, do we have any new reviews or patrons to read out this week?
Oh no, we still Stan's review is still the most recent one on Apple Podcasts,
Okay.
which is
All
great.
right. It is a great one. And I believe that all comments have been published and updated. So, thank you so much for leaving those on Spotify and continuing to rate us on there as well. So, let's get back into the show. All right. So we obviously have lots of thoughts and feels. We've been bouncing around to a whole bunch of different games. Now, maybe we can flip this one on its head because I just thought of this. Uh, what game would absolutely be ruined by adding romance to it? I know that that's not our thing. We love love, accept it all, everywhere, anywhere. But
Mhm.
what would be ruined?
Can I increase this one to games that might have romance in it that you think didn't actually
Oh,
work
didn't need
out?
it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
didn't need it because
Yeah.
I have one of those.
Go for it.
Oh,
Give the
okay.
rest of us time to think.
Well, the game I'm playing right now is the game I'm thinking of. It's Life is Strange 2. There's like to call what they have in the game as romance options is a stretch because it's really just like one kiss and then you never see them again, really. But it's kind of cute, like how you develop it. I mean, I haven't finished Apollo. I saw that look.
Where are you? Well, where are you?
I'm an episode. Well,
What's
I'm
going?
about
What's
to say
happening?
Danny is in the cult, and I met up with Karen, the mom, and we're gonna take him out. So I think I'm in either the end of episode 4. I don't think I've started episode 5 yet. I know I've only got like one episode of the game left though.
have you been to the camp where you're with like the hippies and
Yeah,
where?
I'm done with that. I'm past that.
Oh yeah, you could have done a all. I mean, total romance,
Well,
sex,
okay,
all that in there.
I did. I romanced who the game wanted me to, which is, oh my God, I forgot her name. And I literally just like gave my virginity to her earlier today in the game. No, for real. Like, what was her name?
I don't
Wow.
remember.
Anyway, there's two people you can do that with. Is a guy named Finn, oh Cassidy, and then Cassidy. And like basically it just sets it up for in this one episode of the game out of the 5 episodes, you can kind of flirt with them. You have to make some right choices in order to unlock this romance, and then you can like have a cute romantic kiss moment, and then i I don't know if you can do more than just kiss with Finn, but with Cassidy she can invite you into her tent because they basically live in the redwood forests and they're working on an illegal pot farm, and they're hippies, like to paint the picture. And she invites you into your tent and they like have sex, and it's not her first time, but it's his first time, the character you play as. And then that's it. And then you're forced apart. I know that you can maybe see her in the wrap up of the game, but that's like it. And I just feel like this game is so impactful in so many ways, and like that didn't do it for me at all. Like I don't care. It's for me, the game is really just about the family dynamic with you and your brother and then your dad and now your mom, and like we don't need the extra noise with random hippie people. I don't
Well,
know.
it played into the whole thing with the little brother being angsty and you're paying more attention to her than me. I mean, it kind of fits in. I mean, I
It
see what you're
it
saying, but
works
for
for
me, it fit
her.
in.
Yeah, I guess it works for her. I just felt like the game was pushing me to her, and they only gave Finn as an option just to be like, but look, we have diversity. Because these games, I feel like the one thing I will critique them on is there's a huge lack of diversity, which the second game kind of fixed, I guess, in some ways. There's like one black character, oh, two black characters. You play as a Mexican American character, but otherwise everyone else is white.
Well, three is gonna then you'll love three. Three is the most diverse, gives you absolute equal love options. So
I'm excited about that. I don't know. I love the dynamic between Sean and his brother Daniel. So I just didn't care about Cassidy at all, and I felt like I had no choice. Like I didn't realize the options I was picking were leading me to a romance until I was literally skinny dipping with her, and I was like, dude, what how did I get here? I didn't realize. And then at that point, you can very directly be like, yes, I want to kiss you. Yes, I like you. But before that, it's not really a clear flirt option or not. So I just felt like that could have been, I could have not had that and it would have been fine.
I see. I wonder if that's from just the point of view that you're used to playing as a female, because that game absolutely was like, all right, I see where this is going, like immediately. Like I didn't feel that way at all. I
Maybe.
was like, absolutely, we're flirting here. This is going
I was
somewhere the
like
whole
being,
time.
I was like being nice, and I don't know. I didn't feel like they were flirting. I thought it was just kind of her. Like, I thought she was that way. I didn't think she was like actually interested in me. Like I said, until we were skinny dipping, and I was like, wait, this is more okay. I kind of want to watch the videos of him romancing Finn just to see how it's different, because the game really pushes you to Cassidy. Like, it doesn't even feel like Finn's an option, honestly. I
Okay.
know you have I know you haven't played it. I'm guessing Bat Knight hasn't played it either, judging by the blank look. Yeah. It's a
Oh,
great
I'm over
game.
here Googling video games. I'm looking like, because it's also like a lot of the games that I have played in the past didn't really have romance in them, and I don't know, like, I don't need romance in Spyro. I don't need romance in. I'm just thinking of like all the games that I have played recently. I don't need romance in the games that aren't RPG based, you know? There have been relationships in my fighter games in like when you're going through storyline mode, but really, I only do storyline mode long enough to like hit the button a bunch of times to skip through the story, so that way I can just get to the end where I can unlock the character, so that way I can play through them and skip through all the storyline. Because I don't give a fuck about storyline in Tekken. But it's yeah.
To be
So
fair, I don't think Tekken gives a fuck about story in Tekken.
yeah. But I really like the way that all the people look. And Street Fighter. Oh, this is the game that Jace showed me. Um, it's called Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit for games outside of North America. And he's like, because we were talking about shitty romance, and because I told him that we were talking about Last of Us. He's like, did you watch the other scenes, the ones not related to Abby? No, the ones related to Abby. And I was like, no, because she's not a romance option. You don't get with Abby. And he's like, you need to go back and do your research on the other half of this game. And so Jason and I, my husband, were sitting in a Discord video chat together, streaming YouTube, and he made me watch that scene. Y'all, what the fuck? This is your world amazing game, and it has that sex scene in it. And then why didn't we talk about this?
So we were
Virvada.
talking about Ellie and
I
Dina.
I was wondering what. Yeah, true. I was wondering why you didn't talk about Owen and Abby as well.
Because we were talking about Ellie. That was Last of Us for Ellie's relationships. Ellie and Dina and Ellie and Riley. We can go back and talk about Abby. I'm more than happy to. I'm still more than happy to go back and talk about Ellie and Joel's relationship. Also, like just father-daughter type relationship. Like I'm good to analyze all sorts of relationships, but that was for
To
Ellie.
There
to
was
be
a
fair,
sex
when I
scene with
played,
titty on screen, and you didn't let me know about
Well, I thought you were gonna play it and get a happy little surprise, but no. Now it's ruined for you.
it.
that shocked me when I played it the first time. I was like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" When that
It was
scene
a lot.
happened.
It's not good. But I mean, it's interesting. Leave it at that.
What, a yacht isn't romantic?
No, it totally is. I fuck Carrie. Yachts are very
Yeah,
romantic.
that's fair. This yacht makes it out better than the one in Cyberpunk, at least.
The Samurai.
And Owen's kind of taken at the time. I mean, this is Abby's one bad thing she does in her redemption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize there was going to be boobs in Life is Strange either, but I saw them. I saw them on multiple women. One lady was just walking around topless, because they're hippies. But like, then the sex scene happened. There is a sex scene, if you so choose. Which I did, because I was like, well, I guess I might as well do this for research, because I'm sure now we're going to talk about this game at some point.
Who knows? We shall see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else there really is. But the one that they said here, actually, I watched the Sex in the Snow scene and I thought it was decent. The graphics weren't that bad. It is very actually physically graphic. You are moving your hips in a way that is sorry,
What game are you talking about?
my brain went back to Indigo Prophecy.
Oh, okay. I was like, Sex in the Snow.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't play that Last of Us part. Or Life is Strange. You haven't played it, so I knew it couldn't be that one. Indigo Prophecy.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It's old. It's very old.
Yuri Cat asks, what about a game that would be ruined if you took the romance out of it? And I definitely think Mass Effect or Dragon Age, either of those.
Oh, that
Like,
is a good question.
who plays those games and doesn't romance someone? It completely impacts your whole playthrough.
Especially if you get to the Citadel DLC.
I could do without romance in Dragon Age 2, and I could do
That's
without
fair.
romance in Mass Effect 1.
That's also fair. I mean, I always do without romance in Mass Effect 1 because I'm faithful to Garrus Vakarian. So I don't romance anyone in Mass Effect 1 ever. And
The
then
first
Dragon
time
Age
you
2.
played it, you didn't?
No.
Hmm.
No, because I literally could not stand Caden, and he was my only option. Well, no, because I didn't realize at the time when I played Mass Effect that I could romance Liara, because it was my little baby brain that was just like, no, but she's a girl. You know, that was so long ago before I knew all these things.
See, and the first time I played it, I was like, this game absolutely wants me to romance her. Like, the game is telling me, go
Yeah, but
for
you
it.
were
Like, I'll do it.
male shep, weren't you? I was femme shep, and
But is the dialogue much different?
yeah, I mean,
Is it?
she still is like admiring and adores Shepard, which I would read totally different now as a 31-year-old. But back when I played Mass Effect for the first time, I was 15, like still all in the like I don't know, I just didn't know like that would I didn't read it that way. I didn't date anyone for another 4 years in my real life at that point. So I just was like, nope. But Garrus got to me. Mass Effect 2.
That's true. Because if Dragon Age came out today for the first time, I would play it a whole lot differently than I did when
Yeah.
it came out in 2007 or 2008, whenever it was.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still would fall for Alistair.
I never finished them.
Maybe you should just like watch videos on them, so that way you at least know the storyline and can join in on the conversation.
Origins is so dated now. It's not, I don't blame anyone who doesn't want to play it nowadays. I
Yeah, it
hope
was
they
my favorite
remaster
game
it.
forever. And
Yeah.
I
I'm
tried to
torn
play it
between.
again. I can't do
I'm,
it.
I'm torn between, like you said, the game being really dated, and yet I'm often jokingly referring to myself as a continuity whore in that I have to go in story order, or it just like a weird mental tick just bothers me. And so I've often tried to ask people because I want to get into the Dragon Age series, and I've asked people so many times. It's like, hey, is there a different place I could jump on and still, understand what's going on? And everybody's like, oh my God, you've got to play the original. I'm like, all right.
No, you can start at Dragon Age 2 and not need to know anything about what happened in Origins beyond the fact that the hero of Ferelden did some shit and killed the big bad.
Honestly, I feel like you could start with Inquisition and just Google a couple things and be like, oh, all right. They feel like standalone games, even though they're not, to me.
I mean, I do literally own all three of them and yet have never finished one.
Inquisition, you might have a few more questions, and you don't have the emotional ties to some of the characters that you meet. But yeah. Cool. Okay. I have less than 10 minutes before I have to leave this room. I am in a conference space, so oh, I don't really know what else to say about video game romances, whether they should be there or not. Oh, you know what? The Witcher games. I feel like Witcher 2, which we're gonna get to here in a couple of weeks. Um, I could do without romance in that game. I would never throw away my trading cards, so I'm gonna keep that there. And then in Witcher 3, I need yen in my life, so that's gonna happen. But there are definitely some romance options in Witcher that don't be there.
I mean, video game romance has its place. I feel like its place is in most games, but also not all of them. So, yeah. Finn.
Finito. All right. What do you guys have going on? Let's wrap up this show for the night. Oh, wait. Okay. What's your other bad game?
Have you guys ever heard of a video game called Ride to Hell Retribution?
Yes. Yes. No.
Yeah, that could have any of the romance in that game could have so been eliminated because number one, the game is just crap as is. Number two, who were those scenes for?
Nobody.
It's awful. Like the animation's bad. Why are they all fully clothed? And why is the reward of sex for something you get from like rescuing a girl who was nearly sexually assaulted? Like that makes absolutely no sense at all. So yeah, bad on top of bad. So yeah.
Are we gonna have to talk about that game someday?
God, I hope
Maybe?
not.
Maybe in like a compilation of we're gonna describe shitty sex scenes because there's the storyline to that game was ridiculous. Like I did this as part of my research in the way back when I'm like, I want to look at good sex scenes versus bad sex scenes and spend just a full day on YouTube. That's where I learned about the button mashing to get a higher Kratos score, and all that stuff. But this is sex
I was always
literally
good at
where
those games for what that's worth.
it's bodies mashing together with their clothes on, and then they switch positions. And then it's like the woman. I saw this one where it was the woman behind the man, and then all of a sudden they switch positions again, and then again. And I'm just like, that's not how sex works, guys. It can be, but not if you're both fully clothed. So no, let's not talk that one.
I told you I had a very bad game to bring up.
Yeah. Oh, and then the unnameable of Custer's Revenge. That is hands down the worst video game with sex in it.
The first and the worst.
Yep.
It was an Atari game
I know.
marketed for children. Like what the flark, people?
Well, it was also like $600. Like current inflation, it would have been like $600. So you really had to fucking pay to have that game. But still, or something crazy like that. Oh. Let's go around and see if there's anything that y'all want to plug or shout out or yeah.
I guess I'll go ahead and go. The quest for affiliate continues. I'm still on Twitch. I got up to 35 followers, so not quite affiliates yet, but I'm still working toward it. And I just want something just because I'm particularly proud of this. Cosplay group, the North Georgia Ghostbusters, recently did a fundraiser for the Children's Miracle Network. And of hours, we managed to raise over $400. So that felt awesome. And we had people showing up to take pictures with us and stuff that said they specifically came because they found out the ghosts were in town. So that was pretty cool.
That is very awesome. I'm also wondering if that was just me audio or if you guys are showing glitchy too. Okay,
Seems fine.
because I think the Google Meets went glitchy on there. That night, can you repeat that you about the charity fund that you just raised? Just in case I need it for audio.
Yeah, I was just particularly proud of the fact that my cosplay group, the North Georgia Ghostbusters, recently did a fundraiser this past Sunday for the Children's Miracle Network, where we raised a little over $400 for local hospitals. And we did that in the span of like 3 hours. So that felt awesome. And we had people showing up that were specifically saying, hey, we had to come by because we found out the Ghostbusters were in town. It was like,
That is amazing. And thank you for supporting the children's networks, because you never know who you might be helping out. Apollo, you got anything going on?
I do not. Going ghost hunting on Sunday. That's about it. Going to Miami the week after that. I mean, I guess that's something.
Bienvenidos a Miami. Well, okay. If you like what you're hearing, please be sure to leave a review on iTunes or give us a rating on Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. But also, heads up, I got an email that Stitcher is going away. So if you listen to our podcast right now on Stitcher, that might be going away. So find a different platform to make sure that you can still hear our lovely voices. You can also find me on the Cyberpunk Lorecast with my co-hosty Toasty, where we explore the foundations of the past, the state of Night City today, and the news of the future for all things cyberpunk. And of course, in our Two Girls One Ship channel on the Robots Radio Discord. Come give us a follow on all the social medias and on patreon.com/twogirlsoneship. Links to those are in the description.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know my sister's first celebrity crush was Christopher Lloyd. And I'm like, excuse me, how? So I didn't know that. Okay,
Is it the
anyway.
hair?
Yeah, I don't understand it. I need her to explain. He's smart and wacky. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Okay.
Okay, to each their own. Okay, well, oh my gosh. I'm on the Robots Radio Discord as well, and on oh my God, and on our own Two Girls One Ship Discord server where we nerd out on all our favorite CGI significant others. Be sure to check out our live streams on Twitch on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes release on Mondays because you need at least one good thing on a Monday.
So thanks for listening. And remember,
And beauty is in the eye of the controller. Oh, we haven't said that in so long.
I'm going to throw it randomly at you. So
Yay.
some weeks it'll be Mark Mayer, some weeks it'll be us.
Nice surprise for me.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys,
Okay.
you're not still recording, are we?
Mhm.
Oh,
And we're live.
well, because I had a funny conversation with my daughter about the whole affiliate thing, and I just felt like sharing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I apparently they know that Daddy streams, but they didn't know that I had an end goal, or at least a goal in the whole affiliate thing. And apparently I haven't discussed that with them. And so I mentioned it in passing. I wasn't thinking about it. I was getting ready for work. And I said something about, I'm almost at affiliate. And my daughter goes, "What does that mean?" And I said, well, short version is it basically means that Daddy could get paid a little bit of money to play video games and stream. And she was reading a book while I said that, and she stopped, looked at me with like eyes as wide as saucers. "You can do that?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, there's ways you can stream and make money doing that." She instantly is like, "Daddy, you should do that. That's how you should make your money." I was like, "I can't do that, sweetheart." "Well, why not?" "Well, because to make the kind of money to pay bills, I'd have to put full-time, into it. And I already have a full-time job." And without missing a beat, she goes, "But you don't like that job. Stop doing that job and do the video game thing." And I'm like, "Oh, kiddo, I would love to, but that's a gamble. And I can't afford to gamble because you, your sister, and your mom kind of rely on me to bring in money. So that's a risk I'm not willing to take."
It's not quite that easy.
Yeah. But it was
Even if you can devote hours to stream preparations and like all this stuff, it doesn't mean that you're gonna make enough money to
right.
support a family. That and then health insurance comes into play. And are you gonna pay for Cobra? Because nobody pays for Cobra willingly. Anyways,
It was
I
just
can
funny though, the
rave even
quickness with
further.
which she did that.
My time is over. If you guys want to continue talking and chatting, it will just have to be not on stream. Chat, we love you, love you, love you so much. And we'll see you all soon. And yes, Zachary Ty Bryant, my first celebrity crush, was the older brother on Home Improvement. So Jonathan Taylor Thomas's older brother.
He also played a jerk baseball player in Smallville.
And he's so good looking. Still good looking.